Good morning YouTube. So with today's video, let's dive in the brand of Yves. I haven't really done a lot on this channel over my years, and I'm gonna have to try and change that this year. This one I'm 9 years too late, but better late than never, alright? And today we're gonna be talking about Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme Parfum Intense. Yeah, I know, that's very cringy. That's just, listen, man, that's just the way that I was raised, for heaven's sake. This fragrance was launched in 2013 and is classed as an amber woody. The note breakdown for this one here, I'm just gonna read it off. Top notes are gonna be lemon, black pepper, and bergamot, with them being orange blossom, artemisia, and violet leaf. And the base is gonna be ambergris, suede, cedar, leather, and woody notes. What I get is that I do get that floral component. That floral component does remind me of the original. Like, the original came out in like 06. It's a modern day classic, even 15 years, sorry, 16 years later, because we're in 2022. And that's a great fragrance back then and now. I used to have it in my collection, and I'm gonna have to get it back. But that's the only comparison that I really get between the two. I do get amber. I do get a little bit of the woods, and that amber is a little bit, like, there's a sweetness to it, and this fragrance is a little bit syrupy as well. I ended up watching a few reviews before filming mine just to see like what others' takes were, and some people stated that it reminds them of Paco Rabanne's 1 Million. The bubblegum sweetness can be a little bit, like maybe a little bit similar, but also on Fragrantica, it gets a lot of comparisons to Diesel's Feel for Life Spirit, which I would say does. I do have it on a test strip because I am not spraying this on my skin. This stuff is just nuclear and it's sweet. And I do have YSL here. There is some of that same DNA, but this stuff here is just really sweet, really syrupy, and this stuff is a bomb. It's nuclear. I would say that this is not as syrupy sweet as the Diesel, and it's not as juvenile. It smells a little bit more refined, but at the same time, this fragrance is also, I would say, more casual and more night out. It's not exactly a classy kind of fragrance. It's a fun fragrance. It's not exactly versatile, but I do think that it is good enough for the office environment. It's not going to be too cloying for anybody, and it is professional enough in some manner. But I think that if you work in the hospitality industry, let's say like a restaurant or a bar, it might do a little bit better, but it is safe enough for the office, and at the same time, it's a great fragrance for school and a casual night out. Not a club, but like a date, a lounge even. This stuff here I would say is more high school and university. This stuff here is more university, but I also think that someone who's in their 30s can rock it no problem. It's clearly a colder season scent, so fall and winter. Longevity was solid 7 to 8 hours, and projection was more mild with maybe a little bit of moderate touch to it. If you do like 6 sprays, yeah, it's gonna project a little bit more, but I do about 3 sprays with this one here. What you're gonna pay for this one here, you're gonna spend about $100 Canadian all the way up to $150 Canadian. When you convert that, that's like between $75 and $80 USD to give or take $120, $125. I ended up asking my wife her thoughts. My wife does like it. She does find it comes across as a little bit sweet and a little bit floral. And she also stated that she gets a bit of an oily kind of feel. She didn't smell this one right at first spray. Like, she waited, like, I ended up asking her maybe 20, 30 minutes after the initial spray. But she also stated that this does come across as a little bit oily as this one here. I don't know what video is gonna go out, but this is Valentino Uomo Intense. But she does like it. She finds it's a little bit more of a night out fragrance as well. And in the end, this is not a bad fragrance release at all. It's not really one that I would want in my collection, yet I have this. I have this just like for collecting purposes, and I ended up buying this one in Hawaii. So I kind of regret buying this one, but yeah, you know. This stuff is better for sure than the Diesel. It's a little bit more classy, a little bit more refined. And that is my quick little sample review. Forgive my pronunciation and my pretentiousness. Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme Parfum Intense. If you like this very video, please make sure to give me one of these. Even if you like my cringy pronunciation, give me one of these, please. You know, it helps with the channel. You know how bad this channel is, and I need to feel better about myself, because after reading those comments about how pretentious and fake my accent sounds, I need all the self-validation I can get from y'all. So guys, I thank you for your time. Take care, and I will see you later.